For this testing design mode, I chose to challenge my senior English students to learning about interview skills. One of the final projects that they have in my class, their final exam, is what it is actually, is to have them go and interview with someone from the community and do a mock job interview. So the goal of this testing prototype, or testing of the prototype, was to see what skills my students already knew and then kind of teach them the different skills that they're going to need to be successful at an interview. So this is my classroom website, and if you want to get there, it's missbutcher.weebly.com. And under spring classes, English 4, it's complicated, interview preparation, and interview skills 101, this is the page that I built so that they could do this a bit more independently this time around. Normally, I'm very student focused and I'm in charge and I just let them work independently after I've talked them through it. This time, I kind of let them explore on their own. So this basic here is set up in 3 steps. I have a little intro, and then we do this like essential question discussion board. Like, what does a good interview look like? I wanted to see what they already knew. And I gave directions, and then each hour had their own Padlet to kind of add their own discussion board. So this is some of the responses. I have 20 kids in my first hour. 19 of them did this response, which is an amazing response from this hour because first hour is usually very asleep at this time. So after this first discussion, we then did the learning process. This is when we actually talk about what does make a good interview. And I have found this video. It's geared towards more towards guys, which is okay because I teach mainly young gentlemen. About 85% of my classes are male, so that helps a lot. And it talks about like 10 things that you need to know. And the guy is very forceful and he's very confident, and that shows my kids like this is what you have to be when you interview. And then I had them do like some sort of creative project with this. They're going to finish that actually during this testing mode. I didn't get all the way through this entire unit because my students ran out of time, in all honesty, and I think that I want to extend it for my next process because I thought 3 class periods would work, and it's just not enough time for this. And then the last part of this is I actually gave them examples of good and bad interviews, and then they had this Google chart that they got to fill out. And so this is one of my students' examples because she didn't follow directions quite right, but that's okay. I can show you what she did. I had them do their initial thoughts, and so for the good interview and the bad interview. And then I had them say, okay, what could be done better? I like her response. Everything could be improved in this video. Kind of vague for me, but, and we'll talk about it on our next class period, about why it was. I'm glad that she noticed that there was a lot wrong, but I wanted specifics. So that's kind of what I wanted them to do. And then the very last part of this, besides my class observations, I actually did a survey with SurveyMonkey, and I wanted to say, okay, what did you like about this unit? And I asked 5 questions, and I got a lot of really good responses. So this is kind of my crash course to prototyping and crash course to testing mode for design theory. And I hope you enjoyed it and can spark your own kind of ideas for how you want to do your own testing process in your class when you do your own interviews, or even just a different way of teaching something. Good luck, and I hope you found this helpful.